36 disapprove, which is sort of not good. You'd like to be up there about 60%. Granted, there are always going to be some grumps, no matter which party's in the White House. There are going to be some people who right from the beginning say, I'm not going to give you a chance, at least in this era. But he did start off particularly well. And by August of 21, the faves and unfaves crossed, and he was underwater. Gained a little bit background in November, December, but never got above water, and then began a steady decline since. And in February, the approved disapprove was 41-53. Not a place you want to be going into a midterm. More troubling are the numbers beneath that. One of the most important things the president has is the vision of himself as a strong and effective leader. In October of 2020, just before he won the election, in the Fox News poll, President Biden was seen then as a candidate as a strong leader by 49 and not by 45. Not very good. Today, it's 36-61. More problematic for him is the question of, do you think he has the mental soundness to be effective? September of 2020, 49-45. Today, 44-53. We're to the point where between now and the election, it's almost impossible for him to do things that a normal president would do to improve their ratings and see the numbers go up. Because once you've lost that vision of yourself as a strong and effective leader, it's hard to get anything back, even when you're doing good things. He's also got a problem because of his actions, and two in particular. He campaigned smartly. It was a brilliant campaign. Put him in the basement in Wilmington, have him do TV interviews with, the local anchor in Miami, and the next day the local anchor in Akron, and the day after that the local anchor in Des Moines, and so forth, and have him say three things. That guy's screwing up COVID. I'll be normal, and I have a reputation of being able to work with Democrats and Republicans. And then he came into office. And what did he do? Just the opposite. I'm going to be the most transformational president since FDR. I'm going to have Build Back Better. I'm going to have free pre-K and free child care and free this and free that. I'm going to run to the left of my party, and I'm going to stiff arm the Republicans. If he'd come out and said, you know what, I hear some talk about an infrastructure bill and a bipartisan effort, I want to support the Republicans and Democrats who are coming together to do that. That would have been an important signal. Instead, he gave a stiff arm to the infrastructure bill every time. Well, let's not take it up until we pass Build Back Better. Oh, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm focused on Build Back Better. And as a result, he squandered the opportunity. Think about what would have happened if he'd had the courage to come in and say, you know what, it's important that everybody be inoculated. And as we're talking about inoculating every American against COVID, I want to pay my respects to my predecessor who made the gutsy call under Operation Warp Speed to get these vaccines brought to us as quickly as possible and invested hundreds of millions of dollars in these vaccines even before we knew they were going to be effective, because if they worked, he wanted to make certain we had plenty of stock on hand to help save Americans. And it was a gutsy call, and I appreciate him getting out there. If any of them had failed, we'd all be criticizing him, so he deserves to be praised. It would have set a different tone, but instead, no. After a campaign in which his vice presidential running mate said, if it's a vaccine that developed under Trump, maybe we ought to worry about it, he didn't have the courtesy to do that. And he could have brought us together. We desperately as a country want to be brought together.